Greetings to all pre-service teachers and lecturers of the course 1599 World Indigenous Knowledges. I'm Alex Gansmorth, and today I'm going to be discussing about the concept cultural appropriation. I'll be using the following examples from the Native American Indians, where it shows how cultural appropriation is present in today's modern society. Many of you are probably wondering how or why is it relevant today. My answer to you is, what is the intent of it? Is it moral? Harrison and Selwood explain why Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islander histories and cultures can be taught. It can be shown that depending on your moral objectables and appropriative harms, as Matthew explains, it can do more harm than good. Students can be left with stereotypes and cultural norms of Indigenous Aboriginal peoples rather than insights. As shown, these misrepresentations, misuse, and theft of stories can lead cultures to be socially marginalized and remain to be dominated by power. This can occur when your moral objectives are wrong. Country of origin, explained by Sir Her and Davies, referred to the influence on the buyer considering a product or service from another country. This is reinforced of stereotypes of that country or culture. Depending on this representation, the value of goods can increase or decrease. Sir, Her, and Davies have reasons to believe that depending on the purchase intentions, with allowing everyone to either allow their beliefs shape their experiences, will depend how the product sells. In the arts, cultural appropriation is diverse. Matthews explains 3 incidences where this can occur. In the typical Hollywood American Western movies such as The Lone Ranger directed by Verbutsky and John Carter directed by Staten, there is plenty of native indigenous cultures being stereotyped and represented as barbaric, brutal, and savage. In The Lone Ranger, Johnny Depp plays a native Indian who is just like this. In John Carter, the Indians are represented as violent people that the Americans are just trying to get along with. In both movies, the tensions start to rise and the Indians and Americans get into a fight. The Americans are viewed as the victims and the Indians either ambushing or attacking first. Western Hollywood cultures have also come to Australia with the ride called the Wild West Falls ride at Movie World. In this ride, it shows the Hollywood beliefs that Indians are in their traditional huts with smokes coming out of the tops and some native chants in their tents. Now, what does everyone think about this? How do you feel? Is it still the same feeling as we have for the Lone Ranger or even John Carter, where the Indians are represented as the stereotypes of being cruel, crazy, and inferior? I'm sure everyone has seen the movie Peter Pan, the boy who never grew up and flew away to Neverland, where there are pirates such as Captain Hook and the Indians known as the Red Man. Now, is this morally objective? Is it not the same as John Carter or the Lone Ranger, but kiddified? There are many reasons why cultural appropriation is wrong. As shown, it thrives off what the beliefs from the dominant culture to the silenced one, while abusing their power and somehow is deemed moral. To know where the line stands of what is considered too much depends on the audience of the culture being represented. For example, in week 10 of our Pebble Pad, there is a video showing an Aboriginal group called Yurungu doing a little twist of a Greek traditional dance called the Zorba. Many people can say this is too much and the Yorga group crossed the line. But if we asked the Greeks that were there were some mixed views. Some said it was disrespectful of our culture, but some didn't mind it and didn't think anything by it. So what I want us to understand about cultural appropriation is that it is a two-way street in terms of intent and who is in power of the representation. If the dominant culture allows the powerless culture to do a representation and the intent attacks the culture, where it challenges stereotypes and mythical norms, then the line has been crossed. One thing that can be done to avoid this is to show and act with respect to each other's cultural backgrounds, ethnic groups, and differences. Only when we understand each other and respect each other's thoughts and ideas due to everyone and everyone's virtual backpack being different, We can form a relation-based community where every diverse culture is contributing. And if we don't achieve this, we're going to end up like this guy. See ya!